Hello kids! Let me greet you a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time you're watching this, I hope that you are having a good day. We are back for another lesson. Today, I will teach you how to evaluate the narratives based on how the author developed the setting and characters. As we all know, settings and characters are very important elements in understanding the purpose of the author. Today, I will be telling you a story. Are you excited? I am excited to tell you this story because this is one of my favorites. But before that, let us first have a review. When we say setting, remember that it refers to the time and place of the story. And when we say characters, it can be a person, an animal, or beings, creatures, or things around which the story revolves in. Now, the question is, how does the author develop the narrative of the story using the settings and the characters? So, the author uses descriptive words. He also uses action words or words coming from the different characters in the story in order to make the story creative and interesting. Now, listen to this story that I'll be reading you, and later on, you'll be the one to evaluate the narratives based on the characters and the setting of the story. Are you ready? Okay, let me start. The title of the story that I'll be reading you is The Educated Man and the Peasant, from the Stories to Get by G.D. Morris. Once upon a time, there was a young man from Bucharest who had just finished university. He was proud of his knowledge and smarts, and so decided to leave the big city and make his way teaching peasants in the countryside. Immediately, he was met with difficulties. He found that people didn't take too kindly to being considered more stupid than he. For he was 22 and most of the people that he met were much older. If he was to teach them, he would have proved that he was smarter. Feeling confident of his powers, he made a wager with a peasant. If the peasant couldn't answer the educated man's question, then the peasant would have to hand over 3 lei. The educated man chuckled to himself. This is going to be easy money. The entire village gathered to witness the quiz. The educated man asked the first question. What is the capital of England? The peasant answered, I don't know. I will give you 3 lei. London. The people gasped. They were impressed. The educated man pocketed the money and asked the second question. What moves very fast but doesn't look like it is moving at all? The peasant answered, I don't know. I will give you 3 lei. The earth. The educated man pocketed the money and asked the third question. What goes up in the day and down at night? The peasant answered, I don't know. I will give you 3 lei. The educated man had taken from the peasant a total of 9 lei. Now, the peasant was poor, and his wife started to cry. However, at his turn, the peasant also wished to ask the educated man a question. But if he could not answer it, he would have to hand over 1,000 lei to the peasant. The educated man quickly agreed and thought to himself, "This surely a fool." Now, here is the question of the peasant. What goes in the morning with 2 legs, at noon with 4 legs, and in the evening with 6 legs? There was a long silence, and everyone was staring at the educated man. He searched his brain for a long time, but to no avail. He didn't know the answer, and had no choice but to hand over 5,000 lei to the peasant, which was everything he had. Afterwards, the educated man was curious, so he asked, "So, what goes in the morning with 2 legs, at noon with 4, and in the evening with 6? And the peasant answered, "I don't know. I will give you 3 lei." That ends our story. Kids, did you like our story? Did you understand the story? Good job! And now for your first activity, you try to enumerate at least 3 characters that you can remember from the story. For your second activity, you try to answer this question. Who was smarter, the educated man or the peasant? Why? Please explain your answer. And for your additional activity, write a reflection on what you have learned from this lesson. That's all for today, kids. I hope that you have learned something from me. See you again next time, and please continue to be safe, stay at home, and be healthy. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.